Sometimes in Zelda, there are many things that the developer wants you to really work hard to get. Some require playing the game normally, some require extreme amount of time dedicated, and some demand the highest of skill. Today we'll be looking at my top 10 hardest items to attain in the Zelda games. Let's get into it. The Quake Medallion starts off the list. With it not technically being hard in a skill-wise sense, or even needing anything specific to obtain it, its reason for being hard is purely based on the fact that it's in the random spot in the overworld while being in the dark world side, requiring you to throw a random skull into the center of a stone circle. There is only one hint for this item being a sign nearby on the ledge, and even that is easy to miss. With no reason for you to do this random act, it's one that many players without a guide or someone telling you that will miss very easily. This makes it a hard item to get, well, because you will probably never find it. The fourth bottle in the Ocarina of Time has always been a pain for many players. Furthermore, if you again don't have a guide for this item, the likelihood of you getting it is very low. First, you need to be an adult, rescue Epona, and retrieve the bow. Then you must find specific spots around Hyrule Field where the big pose will spawn, and then you have a short time to hit them with 2 arrows while riding on horseback. You then collect their spirits and return them to this lovely thing. You also have to do this multiple times due to having a maximum of 3 bottles available to catch the pose holes. Combining this all together makes this item a very rare collection and rather hard in its entirety. The Tycoon wallet is the first of a very long quest completion entry on the list. To obtain this, you must gather 80 gratitude crystals from Batro. Now to do this, you must take on the task of essentially 100% completing the entirety of Skyloft and then many side quests on the surface. How you know which ones give you crystals? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's by trial and error. On top of this, you must find some scattered across Skyloft at night. This is a huge undertaking for anyone to do, and without guide to know where and how, it becomes truly insane. The Fierce Deity Mask may be one of the best items to grace the Zelda series, but you really need to put in the hard yards to obtain it. This mask requires you to obtain every other mask in the game, and for those who have done this, they know that is no small task. For those who haven't, well, you must complete time-specific quests in exact locations while completing the exact right action in that moment. If you mess this up, well, you have to reset the time cycle and do it all again. Some of these masks are easily obtained, while others are painfully hard. Trust me, without a guide for this one, expect to be playing this game for a very, very long time. The Ancient Heroes aspect is, well, a complete armor set of the hero 10,000 years prior to this. The armor set can give you up to 88 defense when upgraded and boost the damage of your Master Sword Beam. Why is this so hard to get? Well, you need to complete all 152 shrines on the map. While this is very time consuming, this is also not just as easy from going to one to the other. Some of the shrines themselves are very hard to complete, and some are incredibly hard to find. Undertaking this task is not for those who just want to play the game casually. Hestu's gift. This one probably needs no explanation, but for those who don't know, Hestu's gift is obtained via collecting every single Korok seed. For context, that's 900 seeds in Breath of the Wild and 1,000 seeds in Tears of the Kingdom. And these, as you might imagine, are everywhere and anywhere. Across the entire land of Hyrule, they are scattered. You must solve puzzles, get to specific hard-to-reach spots, and all manner of other things to obtain these. It's by far one of the longest quests ever made, and your reward is a golden poop that is just a trophy to mark the pain of what you just did. The Hero's Charm in Wind Waker has 2 different ways that you can collect it depending on the version that you play. In the normal version of Wind Waker, it's fairly simple. You just give a total of 40 joy pendants you collected on your journey. This isn't the version we want to talk about. In the HD version is where this becomes very challenging. To obtain this item, you must complete all 50 floors on Savage Labyrinth on Outset Island. This is one hell of a task to undertake. Recovery items only appear every 10 floors, and its difficulty only gets harder and harder the further you progress. On top of that, to even get to level 50, you need a whole arsenal of items to reach it. So you already sunk a lot of time into the base game before even attempting this challenge. It is not for the weak. The colossal wallet in Twilight Princess is similar to the hero's charm that we just mentioned. To obtain this, you must complete all 40 floors of the Cave of Shadows, where every floor must be completed as Wolfling. This is no easy task. To access the final floors of this dungeon, you must have also progressed the story to the point where you've completed the Palace of Twilight section, a sizable chunk of this game. Then you must run this gauntlet 3 times over to be able to reach the final 20 floors. Oh, and just for added measure, before you do any of this, you must also collect 24 golden bugs for Agatha to get the previous wallet upgrades, and it's a very long quest. The green tunic in Echoes of Wisdom is in no small part one of the toughest tests you will face. You must first complete all of the main story. I would suggest upgrading all of your sword fighting forms and unlock very strong echoes. Once you've done this, you have to beat all 15 challenges at the Slumber Dojo in Kakariko Village by passing the standard time goals. The final challenge of this is the 15th, and it's a full boss rush. The final Titans, as it's named, means you must defeat all the dungeon bosses and Ganon in under 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Trust me, good luck. Before we get to number 1, I just want to go through some honorable mentions that could have made it onto the list. The Colton's Fabric quest in Tears of the Kingdom is one I needed to mention purely based on the time it takes to complete. You need to collect every bubble gem from defeating the bubble frogs exclusively found in caves across the world. Not entirely hard in terms of skill, but it is very time consuming. The Hylian Shield in Skyward Sword is a very hard task to undertake. To do this, you must progress the story to the point where you revive the Thunder Dragon in Lanayru's Gorge. You must then take on the Lightning Round mode, which is a full boss rush mode. Defeating 8 rounds of this will win you the Hylian Shield, but be aware your hearts carry over from boss to boss and your arsenal is drastically reduced while doing this mode. The Big Goron Sword in Ocarina of Time is an all-time favourite of mine. To get this item, you must complete a very long and complicated trading quest across many NPCs in the game. How you figure out where to go next is part of the fun, and it's very challenging to figure out without a guide to tell you. The Master Sword Trials in Breath of the Wild is one of, if not the hardest test of skill in any Zelda game yet. The reward for completing this is a fully powered up Master Sword, which is, well, pretty useful. In a similar fashion to the previous 2 entries on the list, you must take on a series of floors while taking out all the enemies to progress. The difference with this one is you start off with nothing. Just you, skill, and the amount of hearts you entered with. You must scavenge, steal, and loot for weapons, food, and anything else to help you survive. There are 3 levels to this challenge, beginner, middle, and final, each harder than the last, and in each you start from scratch when you begin. Each trial will have a theme to go along with it. For example, one will be during the thunderstorm, you need to dodge lightning strikes, and climbing anything will be very difficult. During each trial, you also have the chance during one of the floors to collect some extra food, weapons, and armor to help you for the next set of floors, so use that cooking pot wisely. Overall, this has to be the hardest test for any Zelda player to undertake, and it is why it's number 1. This is one you must try if you can. So that's my top 10 hardest Zelda items to get, and I'm curious to see if you lot find other items harder to get and why, or even if you agree with this list, so hit me up below in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions of lists you would like me to do, then you let me know as well. For now, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Rusty out.